First thing we need to do is sharpen our tool. This is my polishing setup. I made this little swing polisher myself. Is it good? No. Is it great? No. Does it get the job done? Kinda. Just like before, a little bit of oil, but I'm going to just take light passes in one direction. Now let's check it out. We've brought this to a beautiful point that is going to be ruined so easily. I'm going to be starting with the bigger weights because they don't require milling, they just require slotting, and I figure why not be easy on myself to start. They also have a bigger diameter, which means it will be easier to make them since we're not polishing the tool as much. We're getting closer to the desired diameter, and our bit is still fairly sharp, so I'm not going to take it out and sharpen it just yet, but I do want to be pretty close to spec. So right now we are 2.107. What I've ended up doing is taking my micron paper and my burnisher, because I know this is nice and flat, and I wrap it around the burnisher, make sure it's clean paper, and then I watch the pattern that forms on the paper to make sure I'm going nice and even, and then I polish it like this. Okay, I have polished it, and now I'm drilling through with a 0.4 millimeter drill bit here. It seems to be cutting dry fine, as long as I don't generate too much heat. I think that'll be better than adding a lubricant, as that might clog it. I'm gonna do 0.4. The balance holes are a little bigger than this, but these are springy because they have a little cut going into there. So I'd rather be undersized and maybe ream them out than be oversized and have them not fit. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. It's maybe a little bit off center. It's hard to tell, but we're working with 20 micron dials here, so it's not going to be to the micron. That's what you'll want a digital readout for, but I don't want to use one of those. So next step is going to be parting these off in 0.4 millimeter chunks and then moving on to the other weights. Okay, after all that, we have 5 weights that we can work with. The tools we're using are pretty straightforward and predictable. We have a granite block. It's nice and flat. We've wiped it down with alcohol. We have our swing polisher from Watch Geek. We have our micron paper. And we have the way we're going to hold our piece. So I have a Bourgeon piece here. And what I'm going to do is shellac on the weights. And the way I do that is I put this in a vise and use a heat gun to heat the brass from underneath, and then position my piece with my shellac on top and try and center everything with a loop. Now you don't want to get the shellac too hot, I find, or it doesn't stick well. We have it shellacked on there now. We're just letting this cool down. Now, like I said, I don't want to take a ton of material off right away. So we're going to look at our chart here and see what paper we should start with. I'm going to err on the side of caution and do this 12 micron paper. We of course need to clean everything nice and thoroughly to make sure there are no problems. Now I want this to be a little down, and then what I'm gonna do is unlock the back legs here. Get real close. Zero my level by eye relative to the table. I'm going to apply a layer of Sharpie. Okay, I'm going to switch to a higher grit. This is 60 micron or 15 micron. What is this? 30 micron. Now we release the shellac, flip it over, and do the other side. Here you can see the material we've had to remove to poise it. I've given that a gold anodized to better show it off. We got a little bit of cleanup to do, but first let's put it on the ruby jaws and see how it's looking. So to poise it, I'm just blowing a little bit of air and checking where it settles. I did this quite a few times, but this is the only section of video that actually came out usable. But you can see it's settled in a couple different spots. I didn't film this bit, but the balance wheel is finished up with a little chamfer on the inside and outside of the hub to give a little contrast with the blue purple anodized titanium.